Well, yeah, I guess it had to be no music. But now I was just thinking, I guess start off, what would be, so all the superhero movies this year are done.
Yeah, there's no more superhero movies this year.
Okay. So what would be your ranking then? From best to worst, or worst to best? Or not necessarily best or worst, but your own personal enjoyment. Like,
well, the way
be as not critical as possible.
What do you mean be not as critical?
I mean, be as just,
I don't think like a movie critic, think like a fan. Or
yeah, like a fan. What did you enjoy the most?
Well, even like as a fan, I mean, for me, I just liked Logan. Nothing beat Logan this year for me.
Logan was the okay.
Part of it was just because Hugh Jackman's last performance. So I don't know. The emotion was there. The performance was there. The whole movie was good. Yeah, it's depressing as fuck towards the end.
Oh yeah, it's depressing as fuck.
It's depressing as fuck, but the damn if the movie's not good,
Oh god, fantastic movie, and that's when I call. You know what? That's when I call it a fantastic movie, and I typically separate the movie from the entertainment of the movie.
Right.
Because it was fantastic, and in that regard, the things like good cinematography, good acting, good soundtrack, all this make a movie good, because I can't say it doesn't, because I hate the Resident Evil movies.
Right. No, the Resident Evil movies, I've seen all of them, and honestly, I watched that last movie for two reasons. One, because, they said it's the last movie, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be done with this shit. I doubt the last one's gonna save the fucking franchise, but it's like, I watched it just to be done with it, and the second one just like, really, just because they said it was the last one.
It was the last one.
The last one, I'm here's hoping they reboot it and it's actually like the games.
But not even.
Like, I don't know. I just wanted to be done with this shit. It was one of those things where it's like, you rolled with the punches, better or for worse, and it's just like, let's just be done with this shit.
Just done.
It's like when you're forcing yourself to finish a game. Just because you have to, especially when you put like $60 down, and
yeah, you might as well finish it.
You might as well finish it, because.
So, is there a point when it's like how good the movie is, or how much, let's say, eye candy or fan service it gives you? Is there like a balance to what makes the movie overall enjoyable? Or as for you personally, or are you the critic, or are you the fan, or do you walk the fine line?
I walk for me, I think I walk a fine line. It's like, for example, Batman and Spider-Man are tied for my number one spot, but I didn't like Homecoming as much as everybody else did.
Right.
Honestly, like, this year, it's towards the bottom.
It's towards the bottom?
It's towards the bottom. It's not last place, but it's like right before that. For me, Guardians 2 is at the bottom.
Guardians 2.
Because it was just a very forgettable movie.
I guess for me, if I'm going to be as not critical as possible, it's Suicide Squad.
Oh, like going off the DC movies?
Yeah, I mean, wait, this was something about last year. Okay, so this year, alright, okay, my bad. Okay, so this year, dang, I can't get Suicide Squad in my mind. Okay, so what came out this year? Alright, so Justice League then. No. Number one is Spider-Man for me.
Okay.
I'm polar opposite.
You have your likes, I have my likes, it's fine. I'm not gonna
Number one is Spider-Man for me. Then I put Justice League. Then after that, let me see. There's Thor. There's Guardians.
Guardians, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman is last.
Well, yeah, I know Wonder Woman is last for you.
I'm sorry. And that's what I mean about walking a fine line between being like a critic and a fan. Because like critically, yeah, the movie was fantastic. Everybody's performance was good. I can't really say bad about how the movie was put together.
Right.
But I wasn't like that entertained.
Right.
I was watching it like, I mean, this is. I mean, it's some of those movies. It's like what you call like those art house movies. Those movies that are just supposed to it's good. But that don't mean I gotta sit here and I'm not like, well, I mean, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bored, and I'm not saying the movie's bad. I'm saying for me, I was bored. I was just bored. I enjoyed Diana's interactions, and this I loved the scene when she liberated the town. Though,
right. Now, that was definitely the best part of the movie.
But then everything else, it's like I've seen it once. I don't need to see it again.
Nor do I want to. The third act, the CG was just rather terrible.
So Wonder Woman was last.
Everything was orange.
I'll put Thor over Guardians.
Like tied?
No. I'll put Thor over Guardians. It'd be Spider-Man, and Justice League, Thor, then Guardians, then Wonder Woman. The only reason why I put Thor over Guardians is because Thor was overall a better movie than Guardians was. I know Guardians 2 wasn't that well put together of a movie, and compared to the first one at least. But I like a little more than the first one. I don't know, maybe because the scene with the rainbows and shit at the end. I don't know. I was a sucker for shit like that.
Right.
You know, I was like, God damn. And people's like, oh, the emotion fell flat. I was like, I don't know. That shit works for me.
I mean, for me, Guardians 2, you know, it was good. It just, for me, it's just very forgettable. It's like, yeah, the laughs were there, but the emotional parts didn't really, you couldn't really feel for them because they did a joke right after. Like, for example, like when Nebula was saying, oh, Gamora, like Thanos always liked you more, and every time I fucked up or I lost or something, you know, he replaced me with a cybernetic part. And it's like, you were supposed to feel for her, but then you didn't because there's a joke right afterwards.
But see, this is the trend though. I can't fault. Well, I guess you can fault Guardians because now this is the trend. Even you noticed in Justice League, there were some moments where I'm not saying it wasn't funny, but I was wondering why was that thrown in there? Like when Flash and saved one woman and they fell. And he got up really quick with the Speed Force, so she wouldn't notice
like,
that.
No, I'm not touching her. This isn't.
That he was like laying down on top of her. I was like,
yeah, that could have been Joss Whedon.
Now you know
not
what?
Actually, Zack Snyder.
That was Joss Whedon, and you know what? It would have been funnier if he would have just awkwardly and slowly got off of her.
Right.
But like it was just like, okay, I get it. Or like when Superman, after he was kicking everybody's ass, he threw Batman down. Batman's like, it's like, oh yeah, something's definitely bleeding. I'm just like, sure. It was funny.
I'm thinking that was definitely more Joss Whedon.
You can tell. It's like I get what you're saying about artificial human being introduced in the movie. The thing is, I just didn't necessarily feel that way with Guardians because I expected it to be funny.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, the taser face joke was funny like the first time, but then it was, honestly, I was like, not really upset, but it just rubbed me the wrong way when, you know, Taserface was like, oh, you know, I'm dying, but my last words are, you know, remember my name, Taserface. And then, you know, she just started laughing at him. I'm like, the man's dying and you're just laughing at him? Like, that's so messed up.
You know what? I have a terrible sense of humor, though, because when I was watching Django in the movie theaters, I was laughing when Brunhilde was getting whipped. Not because Brunhilde was getting whipped, but because of the faces the actress was making. It was killing me.
Right.
It was killing me. So, like, I have a fucked up sense, so that shit
I mean,
was
I
funny.
also have, like...
That was just so funny to me. Like, the Taserface joke actually wasn't that funny to me until that moment. Because I died laughing. I couldn't believe that she started laughing in his face.
See, I have like a dark sense of humor as well. Like, for example, like in the beginning of It, when he ripped off the kid's arm, I was laughing my ass off. I really was. Because normally children don't really get hurt in movies. And I just got a kick out of it.
Oh God! You know
really
what?
Did.
I get you because I got a kick out of watching hit girls slaughter people. I was like, yeah, they don't let kids kill people in movies.
That's true.
So it's good to see.
It was good fun.
It's good. It's entertainment. You're not allowed that often.
Right. It's almost like a taboo having children do like these dark things.
Dark things in movies.
Like normally adults do.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. Like, I don't want a Robin in the movie unless it's actually a child. Like, I'm serious. Like, let it be a child. Let's have a child break adults' bones and shit in a movie. So fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? As long as the choreography is great, it'll look good. You know.
Right.
As long as
I mean, they actually got like a kid to play, you know, Billy Batson for the Shazam movie. So it's like they can easily, you know, do like 2 or 3 movies, or depending on how long they want to do it. But you can do it. They just gotta, you know, have like the balls to do it.
You have the balls to do it. Just find a kid talented enough too.
Right.
There's some athletic ass children out there, but we're going so
yeah, because
so Spider-Man, for me, Spider-Man, Justice League, then Thor, then Guardians, and then Wonder Woman.
What about Logan?
Oh God,
Logan did come out. They came out in March.
Oh, Logan's definitely above Guardians and Thor. But then again, I will watch Guardians though before I watch Logan again. So
right.
That's like that's the thing when I mean like between being like a critic and just being a fan. Like Logan was so sad, but I do not want to look at it again. I'm not saying the movie's bad. I'm saying I just don't want to actually see a lot of it again.
Right.
Like even towards the part, dude. I felt so good for him, but when the kids started murdering people, and I was like, holy shit.
That was fell into that category of like kids just killing people. And that was like some dark shit.
I was like holy shit, they buried the one dude alive. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I was just like
when the grass started coming over and they started shocking the hell out of him, like literally just putting him on the ground. Like, I
was like, okay. And granted, I didn't make me scream. I was like, holy, the shock was there, but it wasn't more so. That was more so just the sadness. But I don't want to see Xavier die. I don't want to see Hugh Jackman get his ass kicked. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know he was gonna die. Like I didn't even believe Wolverine. I was like, it's fucking Wolverine.
Right. Like, it's like the speculation was there, but it's like we really didn't know.
It's like
went away forever.
It's like low key. I have no intention to ever watch Terminator 2 ever again, but I love that movie. I don't want to see it again.
At least not the ending.
At least not the end. Why would I want to watch that again? Like it's just like that was terrible. I don't want to see it again.
Honestly, like for me, I put Logan like. Maybe people won't like it as much as The Dark Knight, but it falls into that category of like it's a good. You forget that it's like a comic book movie.
Oh yeah, it's so.
It
good.
just happens. Yeah. It just happens. It's a good movie that just happens to have comic book characters in it. If it wasn't like a comic book, you just saw it like as a movie. It works.
Yeah.
You know, all the emotions are there. All the characters do their job right. You know. It's all good. The cinematography is great. The music's great.
Well, the thing I liked about The Dark Knight, one thing I always thought The Dark Knight did was it never tried to impress you visually. And what I mean by that, it always wanted the story to get you. You know what I mean? Like the whole Dark Knight trilogy, everything Batman did was really, really grounded. Not probably because they couldn't afford the effects or whatever. Because look at like the DCEU Batman. He's ridiculous. I love him. He's so comic booky. He's doing crazy shit. Like he's doing crazy shit.
Flipping cars over with the Batmobile and
flipping
shit.
Cars over and he's fucking shooting grappling hooks and slinging all over the place and climbing on walls like a bat. It looks great. Now, granted, you can do that, but they made Christian Bale's Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy. He was like a dude in a bat suit. You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't really seem like a superhero.
Like he got attacked by dogs. It's like, oh shit, this man actually got hurt.
Yeah, it's like he didn't seem like a superhero. You know what I mean? Like, granted, he was doing some super shit, and he always came back and saved the city. But I feel like, dude, you could just you don't have to call yourself Batman.
Right.
Like, there's no genuine reason to it. He didn't feel like the superhero Batman. But the movies themselves were really, really, really good. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like, wow, this is a lot of. And then the action, while not over the top, was really good because it was ridiculous watching this one dude beat up like 1,500 people. Or Catwoman on the rooftop and then get in a giant bat thing and fly away.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck?
Just ignore the part where that one guy just falls over by himself. I don't know if you ever seen that little clip. You just gotta zoom in like a little bit to the left. This one guy just falls over. He doesn't get punched. He just falls over.
Are you serious? Wow.
I'm serious. I don't know. That's like they messed up on the editing or what, but it's like one guy just kind of just stumbles forward and then stumbles back.
But you know what the Dark Knight you know what the Dark Knight did? One thing, the trilogy did one amazing thing. I did not care too much. Like I wasn't always itching to see where's Batman. You know, like while the movie was going on, it was more so I'm just like watching the movie and was like, wow, I don't need to be like. I was actually like, where's the Joker? Where's Bane? You know?
Yeah, no, they got the interest in the villains more than like Batman because I mean Batman, we've seen enough of his movies. It's like the thing about the Dark Knight was, or the whole trilogy, they were introducing some characters that you haven't seen before, or they were redoing them to be more interesting. Like Bane, for example. Bane was a big green idiot in the Batman and Robin. And, you know, they finally made him all menacing in Rises. He literally broke his back. From that first trailer, I'm like, oh shit, they're literally going to break Batman's back in the movie.
No, I knew Bane was going to be. The only problem with Bane was that he wasn't.
It wasn't the voice?
No, not even. It's just that he himself. He wasn't like a Spaniard, you know what I mean? Like,
well, that's a slight nitpick, you know.
I wanted him to.
He's from Santa Prisca.
Better now.
Like they should have gotten Machete to play him, right? Machete.
Hey, Machete. That would have been great
with the handlebar mustache and have
if he had bulked up.
Yeah.
And then he would have been wearing a mask.
Well, he would have been wearing the mask, or the little wrestler mask.
He would just have to shave to put a mask.
He wouldn't.
I don't know.
He would not shave.
What the heck are we even? But yeah, no, these movies this year.
The comic book movies. Oh, and then next year, there's just more to come. It's like, you know, Deadpool 2 is coming out. The recent trailer dropped.
You know what was my favorite thing about Spider-Man Homecoming? Well, not one of my favorite. I have a lot of favorite things about that movie, but
go ahead.
When he was patrolling, he wasn't doing anything. Like it was like nothing was happening. Like realistically, it's not always
like when he webbed that one guy to his own car, thinking he was trying to steal it.
I was just like, yeah. I mean, how much crime were you really gonna fight in a day? Just swinging around like you know.
You know what's one thing like kind of bothered me? I mean, a lot of that movie bothered me, but there was one thing like from all the posters that they dropped. You know, like New York with like Manhattan, the skyline of Manhattan was always in the background. I didn't think it would be that literal in the movie. Like they never went to Manhattan in that movie at all. There was no web swinging in skyscrapers, none of that stuff like we've come to expect. Now, granted, they could have did that for like the first half of the movie, you know, like the part when he was at the party and he sees the whole like explosion or whatever, and he's trying to chase Vulture down, and he's like trying to web up a tree or something. There's like just a field of nothing, and he's just like, damn, and he has to run through sprinklers. I mean, that was funny, but still for me, it's just like I want some web slinging in the skyscrapers. Come on, get real. So for me, it's like I'm more excited for a second one because like, you know, now I have some expectations, or at least you know I would hope so, that they actually tried to go to Manhattan. Because that's where most of the crime is. Yeah, Queens does have crime, but the big crime that happens in New York is in Manhattan.
That's what you're
and all the little suburbs or whatever.
But one thing, I guess is the one thing I liked about it, I guess, is to be the polar opposite, was the fact that he didn't really in the second movie, it's interesting he'd be more of like a superhero now.
Right.
Actually, you know, and I like the fact that in this movie he was a piss poor superhero. He was terrible at it. Like realistically. He should be terrible at it because this Spider-Man has literally no experience. Right. And I guess that's just be the defining factor.
No, and see, here's my thing. There was two things that could have happened that were gonna make me get up and leave the theater. Because I swear, like the movie was bothering me a lot, and I knew this prior because I figured it was gonna be based off the Ultimate, you know, storyline, which it was. And like for example, at the end when Tony was offering, hey, join the Avengers. You know, whatever, forget about school, you're just going to be a full-time Avenger. I'm glad he said no. Had he said yes, I would have gotten pissed off and walked out. I am so serious. But mainly the other thing was, like, if Hulk Goblin would have shown up. If at any time they do a Green Goblin and he's all raged up, hulked out, with like a fire crown or some shit, I hate that Goblin. I really do. That's not my Goblin. I'm more on the classic 616 on a glider. Well, they're both on the glider, but with the satchel with the pumpkin bombs, you know, like ha 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 ha, like you know that Goblin with laser fingers and shit.
Oh God.
That's what I expect from my Goblin.
I would never expect to see Hulk Goblin in the movie. But if it happens, you know what? I'll die laughing because I know you probably just get up and leave.
I would literally get up and leave.
Okay. Oh God.
Yeah, no, I would literally get up and leave because that is just one thing I cannot stand for. Or the other thing would probably be Harry Osborn Venom. I'm not down with that.
Yeah, God, that's like the dumbest thing.
I don't want that at all. Like, Flash Thompson, it happened eventually. I could roll with it, but I would prefer Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock's the main. Even if you do Scorpion, which they've already introduced in Homecoming. I wouldn't say just do Venom outright. You know, definitely have him be Scorpion for a while. Though I do want Jameson because Jameson created Scorpion.
But you know what's funny? I find it hilarious how I'm every bit and probably even then some more disappointed in Wonder Woman as you were in Spider-Man.
I mean, for me, I got what I wanted from a Wonder Woman movie because
I did not.
It just needed to be okay. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I was.
It didn't.
See, here's the thing.
A lot was riding on the movie.
See, the one thing I love about the DCEU is its dramatically fantastic visuals and its insanely ridiculous, over-the-top, nonsensical action. Now, the visuals in Wonder Woman were all there. When it came down to the action, I was just like, every action scene. Here's the thing. I watched Wonder Woman, and literally after every action scene was over, not only did I barely move, but I was just like, oh. I was just like, and then when the movie came, I was like, well, it's gonna pay off with some giant battle between gods, right? You know, like Amanda Steel was like,
breaking buildings and shit.
God, yes.
Right.
Like I was just like, all right, this is gonna make my eyes gasm. And it started off great because he was all fucking mysterious and it's like, oh, I've been here all this time. And then when he actually started fighting, it was just, I will destroy you.
I will destroy you.
And I was like, oh, I think the drive used the other way. But Jesus Christ, I was just like, wow. But you know what?
What?
There's so much else that annoyed me with Wonder Woman. I tried watching it again, and it's hard to get through for me, only because like it falls to that one-time watch category where it's like everything in this movie, I don't want to look at it again. Not to say that it wasn't done good. It's just like watching her be awkward and not understand what shit understands. Like that's only funny so many times, realistically. I mean, to anybody. To me, it's only funny once, but to other people, that's only funny so many times.
Yeah, well, that's just part of like a movie. You know, it's like you watch a movie so many times. Some parts you'll laugh at, some parts you won't. But for me, I just wanted the movie to just be okay. A lot was riding on this movie. If this movie didn't succeed at all, you know, I don't give a damn what the Rotten Tomatoes say. But it's like, if people didn't pay to go watch this movie, you know, like to support the movie, they were never gonna make another female superhero movie again. You know, Marvel would have been like, maybe we shouldn't do that Captain Marvel movie after all. Even, you know, they're Marvel. They know exactly what the hell they're doing.
They know exactly.
But even if Wonder Woman is the biggest female superhero of all time.
If you can't sell Wonder Woman, you can't sell female superheroes.
Exactly. If you cannot sell Wonder Woman, you cannot sell female superheroes.
Yeah.
That's, you know, over. Elektra didn't work. Catwoman didn't work. And, what's the other one?
It was a Supergirl movie.
Oh, God. Don't even talk about that.
But you know what?
Movie.
I don't think it would have been all doom and gloom, because if there's one thing Supergirl showed us, she has an entire show.
Right.
And it's a great show, despite the politics. It's a great show. So I don't think it's impossible for superhero media to, because if anything, DC, I feel like Marvel was kind of trying to catch up with DC when it comes to TV shows, bro. DC's been killing it. Their world is so expansive and ridiculous at this point. I'm just like, bro, it's like a comic book on TV.
Yeah.
Despite the politics.
Despite the politics, definitely. DC, they've always been on top when it comes to like animation and their TV shows, like the live action TV shows. For some reason, Marvel is like, I mean, they do cartoon shows as well, but
they
honestly,
some gems.
They've had some gems, but most
Wolverine
of those gems
X-Men
were like in the 2000s and like definitely in the 90s.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes should still be on TV.
But like, you know, when they introduced that new connected cartoon universe with Ultimate Spider-Man, Avengers assembled, and Hulk and the Agents of Special, no one was watching that. Or you know, it's for kids. But it's like, you shouldn't be making a show for kids. You should be making a show that appeals to everyone. That way, you have a bigger audience.
No, they made the shows.
They buy more merchandise
for kids.
Right.
Yeah, like it was like, wow, this is terrible. Teen Titans Go to every Marvel cartoon.
Right. Teen Titans Go like every cartoon. But okay, but at least with DC, when it comes to animation, they still release animated movies. I don't think Marvel has released an animated movie since like what, Planet Hulk, which was like in
I think that Black Widow Punisher one was the last one.
That Black Widow, but that they didn't even market that.
Yeah, I found it one day.
That's very niche. It's like if you were looking for a new Marvel animated movie, you happen to find it. They did not announce that shit at all. And then plus it was like an anime movie.
Yeah.
So it's like you really have to be looking for like Marvel anime. And even then, it's like Marvel just kind of dropped the ball on that. That's literally the last X-Men cartoon. Was the X-Men anime that came out in 2011.
Yep.
A year after the Wolverine and the X-Men cartoon. Actually, no, 2 years after the Wolverine and the X-Men cartoon. That got canceled after like a year, or so. They only had one season. Great, but then you know Marvel and Fox, that whole just like they don't want the X-Men or whatever the hell it is. But still, it's like, I don't know what the hell they're doing. DC, they care about their material. They're announcing everything. You know, they promote their shows, they promote their cartoons. They're making a service, but they announced their service before Disney announced their service. Because Disney wants to make like, oh, we're gonna make a, you know, here's some new Marvel shows, here's some new Star Wars shows or whatever. But it's like, it's all gonna be for us. We're taking away the Netflix shows and putting it on here. So it's like, I think, what's the last thing they announced? What the Daredevil season 3 and Jessica Jones season 2. That's probably the last thing that's gonna show up on Netflix. And then every new season, like a Luke Cage season 2 or Punisher season 2, is gonna show up on that Disney service or whatever.
That's some dark shit for Disney.
I mean, hey, that's more money for them because they cut out the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, DC, you know, they've already got new shit. They've already announced.
Their shows are fantastic.
No, I'm saying they've announced like shit that already gonna have people wanting to buy this service. First of all, they already confirmed season 3 of Young Justice. That alone just put people like in a storm.
That's fantastic.
You know, and then they're announcing a live action Titans show.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my God, come on.
Yeah.
We're getting this shit. Marvel is like the Disney people. I don't know what they've announced. But so far, I don't think it's like A-list characters.
I'm gonna hate that Titan show if it doesn't cross over. Like, girls, I'm not saying it doesn't have to be in Earth 1, 2, or 3, whatever the fuck. It could be anywhere.
Right.
You already established a multiverse exists. I don't care what universe take. If that Titan show doesn't cross over with everything else in the CW verse, I would literally lose my shit.
I mean,
it will make me mad.
They can definitely do some multiverse crap because honestly, they've already established a multiverse.
I don't even. You don't have to cross over with everybody. You could just cross over with just Arsenal.
Hell, they just. Well, I don't know if you've seen the new episode of Legends, but like towards the newest episode,
Nah, I have not. I haven't seen anything in this week.
Well, it's a spoiler.
You would
not
have seen YouTube videos.
Yeah. Well, true. But it was just like it's a small spoiler. It's nothing really big. But towards the end of the episode, they take a certain someone to Themyscira.
Like Themyscira?
Like Themyscira. They showed like the outside of the island in like a palace. They drop someone off on Themyscira. So it's like
the
Justice
DCEU Themyscira?
Yeah. Like it feels like a shot from like the Wonder Woman movie. Like that Themyscira. Like exactly the same. So it's like I don't know, it's like it's connected but then it's not. It's definitely out there in the multiverse.
Well, it's a multiverse.
It's a multiverse. So it's like Themyscira exists, you know?
That's okay. So everything exists.
Everything exists. It's like, you know, DC, they've been doing that crap for years. The whole multiverse thing. This exists, then it doesn't, but now it's back again. It's like they can just make it up. And
so what was that, like 4 Marvel movies and 2 DC movies, from what I understand?
Well, what, this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the MCU did 3 this year with Spider-Man. And, well, Fox Marvel, they did Logan.
Well, I would say Justice League was better than everything Marvel produced this year except for Spider-Man. And one of them was worse than everything Marvel produced this year. So, pretty good year for DC, I guess. You know?
Yeah. And you know, I think part of it has to do with just, you know, when they finally got, what's his name, John Berg and Jeff, well, the biggest name is Jeff Johns. You know, they finally got like someone like in charge to direct the movies because mostly it was just, I'm not blaming Zack Snyder for what he did. I mean, he did great movies. But it's like, he just kind of was doing his own thing. It was never like let's make a big expensive universe. It was kind of like, Zack Snyder, do whatever you want, we're just gonna roll with it. But now with that they have Jeff Johns, once they announced Jeff Johns like, you know, head of like the DC movies, he finally was able to do something with Wonder Woman. And from Wonder Woman, it's like they've lightened the tone, they've started adding more jokes.
Which is kind of sucky because it was a smart idea to get Zack Snyder for the sole fact that it's kind of hard to top his visuals.
Right.
But then, so it's like, do you want his visuals or do you want his script writing?
Yeah.
And I think that's the question.
No, but see, here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people notice because, you know, it's a lot of comic book movies coming out nowadays. But there's really a difference. Like, when you look at Marvel movies, they feel totally different from, like, DC movies.
The visuals are not the same, dude. Marvel's, that's one thing I do. That's one thing I hope Infinity War, because I saw the trailer for Infinity War, and it looked so different. It looked so dynamic, and so it just popped. A lot of Marvel movies, save for anything outside of Iron Man, like, a lot of the heroes and everything they wear, it just feels so, like Dark Knight-ish, where it's like, oh, this is, like, the militarized, realistic-looking Batsuit. I don't need the realistic-looking shit.
Okay.
I don't need the realistic looking stuff. Like, give me like the unrealistic looking, crazy, bulky Batman doing backflips. I don't care. Make it look like a comic book.
Right.
Like, make it look like I like the Cap movie, but it really does feel like you're just watching a dude in a blue militarized suit with the stars and some stripes on it. Not like the superhero Captain America. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, aside for Iron Man, because it's kind of hard to not glamorize the way Iron Man looks.
Wait. Oh, they already closed.